How's everybody doing tonight? Just kind of getting situated. Still had all my stuff kind of sitting out from Tuesday night. So, get my paint pot collection. I didn't need all of this, but I had it already all up here and I didn't really feel like running my stuff down, making more trips than I have to my basement. So, just grabbed everything. I got a base. We're gonna maybe work on that a little bit tonight because we may have some downtime to get this guy finished because he's looking pretty close to being done. We just gotta do these little plates on the side. Give him some wash and some highlights. He's darn tootin' close to being ready to go. I got his brother. I wanted to show you guys this model. This is my Frost Giant brother. We've also got to finish his horn, and he's got a band of metal on his horn too, so we're about... That's looking pretty good. I think that fade is starting to come through. I think we're gonna do a little bit of Agrax first shade at the very tip to really darken those tips up, and then we're gonna put some highlights on these horns and really make them pop. Glue his arms in permanently. His metal needs a wash and a highlight yet. But he's looking frosty. And then we're gonna dabble with this base. I think I have the right size base for him, because he is a huge size model, I believe. Arr. But then I just brought his brother up. I need to give him a wash, and then give him a primer spray. I spray with my airbrush with their primer. May also need a little TLC with his arm there. Get him to mesh up correctly. Sometimes you have to take these bones models and put them in some hot water and kind of reshape them. They don't... Sometimes when you pull them out of the packages, they just need a little bit of TLC getting their shape back. But he looks pretty cool. Two-handing that axe. At first I was a little worried at first. I didn't realize that he's two-handed this axe, so when I pulled him out of the package I thought he was missing an arm. It was on the axe. He looks pretty awesome. He's got a very textured belt here. Very, very textured. Similar style kilt with some little leather straps and medallions. Got the fur on him as well. Viking brother from another mother. But we may work on him next, so we get both of the... Those are my two Frost Giants that I have. So we could dabble with him next. I've also got a dragon. I've got like a really like slinky dragon to work on as well. But we're going to kind of work back and forth a little bit between finishing this guy up and then starting on his base as well. I think I need to move my camera back a little bit. Seems like we're right on the edge of my work surface here. There we go. That feels a little better. Oh, I put this down to not get wet paint on stuff, and now my paper towel stuck to my palette. Yeah. Okay. So, let's see here. What do we want to do to start? Well, I'm thinking we need to finish up his metals before we go into some washes. This needs washed. His plate, his metal plate needs washed. I have to hit these straps here. That needs a wash. But we just have to paint these metal plates here. I think we're going to go with this bronze. I hate this bronze. My bronze is in bad shape. It's going to take a little work, but we'll get it. Poor bronze is just not in the best of shape. I think that's the last bit that needs base coated. Then we can put some wash on it, and while we're letting wash dry, we can start on the base. Got some fresh water here. That's gonna be on my to-do list, I think, this weekend. Is go through some of my paints and figure out which ones are in the worst shape. And start making a list of ones I need to rebuy and ones that I need to try to revive. Because this, particularly this bronze I'm working with here, is on its way to becoming a dry brush paste instead of a base color. It's very clumpy, very thick. And we have to pulverize the crap out of it with some water to bring life back into it so we can actually paint with it. Thankfully, we're about done with it. And then I think I can probably add like some flow improver, some medium thinner to it instead of just water. And shake the ever-living poo out of it. Bring it back to its former glory. Gonna take a couple coats probably. Trying to keep it thin because it's so thick. I don't want it clogging up all the details, but and we're going to be careful not to touch the wet bronze like we did the last time, and I got it on his fur, and then we had to go back and touch up fur. So try to be a little bit more careful with my fingers today. With making sure we're not touching things we don't want to smear metallics around on. I imagine by the time we get through painting all of these plates, the first one should be dry enough we could start another coat. We got DnD tomorrow night with my group of friends, so thought maybe we could get this guy tidied up and we could... Not that we need a giant in our session tomorrow, but... I typically sometimes will leave my D&D models at my friend's house. Some of them I like to keep at my house for... in my display case, but... I also like to take some to, where we actually play D&D so we can use them. We typically always play at the same person's house. And Ralph's got a pretty impressive miniature collection. So, our sessions can get pretty elaborate sometimes. Sometimes we get some pretty awesome looking session setups. Beyond just the gridded map and stuff, we've got a lot of miniatures and terrain at our disposal to where you can really go all out setting up a scene for your game session. Pretty cool. We even may try making some snow for the base. I've got the stuff ready from my friend that recommended doing the snow base. So if we get to that point tonight, we'll play around with trying to make some artificial snow for some decor on our mini here. Gonna kind of smush this up into this area. You won't really see it once you put that belt piece on here with the trunk and the package, but it'll just kind of help any odd white from showing through. A little bit of that Christmas music going tonight. Alrighty, we have to like pulverize some more bronze here. Get another coat. There we go. I think that should be enough and we'll be done with that. It's so clumpy! Okay, getting a little better. Still kind of thick. But I think we're getting to a point where we might be able to work with it. Make it work. Another coat on this. I think it's definitely dry enough to accept another coat now. Gotta be so careful about getting metallics on stuff because definitely is pretty. That shine will definitely give away where you've touched something you weren't supposed to. One thing I like about this color with the like the lead belcher that we've also done for a base color is that I dry brush it all with the same color. I do a light silver and a light silver on this, and then the light silver on that lead belcher. It's just like kind of handy that I like to use the same highlight because the silver highlight on this one looks really good. Got a little deformity in the corner of that plate from the model. Like it had an air bubble in there. Right, look like we got all of the bronzy color done now. There was... what color did I use for that? that one. And this one. A tiny bit of touch-up I need to do on some metallic that I hit. Take that shine off of it. Kind of let that bronze finish dry in a little bit, and then we're gonna hit this all with a wash. We could probably actually get started with washing some of this. We're gonna start with good old Agrax Earthshade. I like this brush for washing. Let's grab this hand. Start here since there's only one bit of plate on it. Get around in these details. It's really going to make all this pop, and that's why we wanted to do thin coats on this metallic, especially with as thick as that paint was, because we would have clogged up all those details. You wouldn't see all this ornate sculpting on his armor here. Go around the sides here. Don't want too much in there because it'll get kind of glossy. Kind of. Work that around. Here, I'll show you the difference now between a washed and an unwashed piece. This definitely looks even more metallic that way. It brings that depth back that we had lost from it all being one color to look more realistic. We're gonna do the silver in a different color though. I think we're gonna do that in ho ho ho. Alrighty. There's that down. We may just do the... You know what? I changed my mind. We're gonna do the blade and Agrex too. I have the sudden urge to want to watch Lord of the Rings now. And we'll come back with some dry brushing on this. It'll add some sharpness back to this axe here. Stand that up there too, so we don't touch that while it's drying and get a weird effect going on. Okay, something else I want to do real quick while I'm thinking about it. Let's shut this wash so I don't accidentally just send it flying across the room. Agrex or shade everywhere. Where is my lead belcher? There it is. One thing we didn't do. I wanted to hit these little studs on his kilt here. These silver. I think it'll help bring some more of this two-tone color I'm doing here. Get a little water. This stuff's kind of thick too. Not as bad as this other stuff is, but ooh. Blingin' brushes. Not real bright, we may just give them a little hit of like some rune fang or something to brighten them up. But just a little shine here around his kilt. I don't mind these Christmas songs, but it says for like 57 some songs, it seems like they all sound exactly the same. All right. Okay, we can set that down. And go back to our shade. Okay, that was my husband telling me that they're working on our power lines, and we had a really nasty windstorm here yesterday, and he said that Midwest Energy's in our driveway, our energy company, is in our driveway working on a power line. So I guess if I go offline all of a sudden, well, no, you'll know why. We had power when we got home yesterday, but we were right on the cusp of like our neighbors a block over in both directions, to the north and to the east of us, did not have power. So we were lucky, but so they must be working on some of that in the neighborhood. So hopefully they don't accidentally take me out. I really like this way this looks, bringing the very ornate armor that he's got on here. It's really taken on the taking up my shade. Use it up pretty quick, filling in. And have to like start mopping it in and then pulling some of this back out and moving it over. Kind of wanting to settle a little too much and work it around. Okay, my watch was going nuts, beeping at me here. I'm in a group chat, blowing up my text messages. Yep. Wondering for a second, what the heck is that buzzing feeling I'm feeling on my wrist? And I looked and it's like, yeah, group chat going nuts. Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and gonna wash this here. Just washing them all in Agrax so we can do his little tabard here. Get all this armor. Go. Starting to pool a little bit in this corner here, so we'll just pop that up, and then I think we're good to hit this stuff too. Just paint it. See where this settles, and we're just gonna start working around. Make sure it's not pooling anywhere really weird. We don't want it to pool in. How's it going, Sim? Nice to see you. What's up? Good. The good. How's the rest of your stuff been going? I know you said in Discord the other day you were working on some testing, and you had one down and some more to go. Or part one done and more to go? Sounded like there was a lot of work there. Got the 4 done, ending a chapter. 80, 80, 90, 90. Very nice. Way to go. The coming was electrical stuff. Ooh, yeah. I bet that could be a little daunting. I always kind of found the... I did a tiny bit of electrical stuff, like electrical diagramming in college as part of my drafting stuff. And I was never a fan. It was a little... I struggled with it. It was the harder of the stuff, I thought, for me to comprehend. Trying to pool a little bit here, weird. Make sure we don't let that settle too much. And you was sidelined for a couple weeks? Do you have to get that done in a certain amount of time, or is it kind of just whenever you're ready to tackle the next part? Kind of a work at your own pace type thing. After all that, I would think you would deserve a little bit of a break before you tackle the next part. That sounded like a lot of work. Gonna worry about his underside here too much, but I am gonna wash this linen-y color down here so it kind of matches. It doesn't stand out too stark. There, and get his helmet. Until April. Okay. 3 to 4 exams, and then steering and frame theory related stuff, which is another 4. Oh, so you've got some time. Yeah, give yourself a little bit of a mental break there. That was a... Especially when you're going into one that might be a little tricky. Yeah. Very nice scores, though. Very well done. On your first part. It was actually part 5, but first time you decided to brag? Well, hey, that's some stuff worth bragging about. I think sometimes we don't brag ourselves up as much as we should when we do stuff like that. We like to brag each other up sometimes, but we're not always the best about talking about ourselves with what we're doing, so yeah, brag away. Work's been kind of slow for me, and I've been kind of in my holiday slump of I getting like the seasonal depression-y stuff kind of settling in. It's just been so dark, and work's been kind of meh. So since I've had some downtime right now, I've taken upon myself to try to learn something new. So I've been trying to learn some new software on my own, and they've actually got some really great free tutorials that Autodesk offers for their software. So I've been teaching myself how to run Revit. I've always wanted to learn how to run it. I've been looking for courses, and they're really expensive, and there aren't really any near me. So I was like, screw it. I'm savvy. I can teach myself how to run Revit. So that's what I've been doing at work the last few days. And it's actually been really nice. They got really great videos that walk you through some practice modules and some step-by-step and give you sample stuff to work on. So I've been having a lot of fun doing that. Been keeping my brain occupied at work while it's been quiet. I've only got 4 more working days left, and then I have a 2-week break, and I am so ready. I work Friday, and then I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, and then I'm off until the first part of January. So I'm excited to have some time at home. Get ready for the holidays with the fam. Get my dice store launched. My plan is to launch my dice store while I'm on holiday break. So get all my pictures finished up. I've got some more sets I'm working on. My new pressure pot should show up right after Christmas. I got some stuff to do some liquid core dice. So I'm gonna, my stuff for that should show up on like Monday. So I'm gonna start playing around with doing like the cool liquid core centers. Eggnog Santa, hot tub. Eggnog Santa hat, hot tub. Hey, all at once, all at the exact same time. You know, I don't screw around. We're gonna do that all at once. Eggnog in the hot tub, wearing a Santa hat. Family time with the hubby. Yeah, we're just gonna go all in, all at one time. Cool. Got a weird little pool going on down here. Let's kind of mop that up a little bit. Have you? Yeah, I know there's been a lot of other people that have been kind of thinking about that with this new round of COVID going around. Our family get-togethers are really small to begin with. I mean, my family is just my mom, my dad, and my sister with her kiddos. So we don't have like big, massive family gatherings. They're pretty small to begin with. Your uncle had a heart attack? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope he's doing all right. It's not a fun time of year to be dealing with that stuff, you know? I want everybody happy and healthy through the holidays. So we got Mr. Blue Guy. I found this the other day. Actually, I found it this afternoon. I was downstairs digging around in the basement, and I found his brother. I'm trying to decide what color I want to do the cuff. You know what I want to do it in? I want to do it in I want it to pop a little bit against his horns, so we're gonna do it in Lead Belcher. I totally missed painting this cuff around his horn here, so let's do that real quick. I think he's also got a ring on his finger I gotta go back to. We'll probably do that in. Careful where I hold him though, because got wash on him. Christmas has been bad luck for y'all. You've passed around the holidays. Think everybody's just burnt out on bad news since COVID started. I can feel you there. I'm a bit of a bah humbug around the holidays too. We had a family death around the holidays when I was in early college, and they've never quite been the same since then. And ever since then, I've really kind of struggled around the holidays with my sense of holiday cheer. I've been more of a Grinch. They've just never quite been the same. So I can appreciate that very much. That, and I sometimes think, like, around the holidays, you're kind of forced to have to feel a certain way. Everybody expects you to be jolly and giddy and gay and... like, F that noise. Be a Grinch if I want to. So yeah, he's looking pretty good. I'm really happy with the way he's turning out. Like I said, we just kind of have been painting him on a whim. Just kind of making stuff up as we go, painting him. He's got a ring on this finger. You like it, should have painted a ring on it. Alright guys. Viking Frost Giant's taken. Hey, get a little bling! Yeah, no, I still have my Halloween decorations out on my front porch. Not all of them, but I still have my Jack Skellington and Zero. We bought a little Santa hat to put on Jack just to kind of make it seem like we're trying. But it keeps blowing off, and with all of our wind we had the other day, I don't know where it's at, so... But yeah. I figured Jack and Zero can kind of sort of still pass for Christmas decorations, but I didn't put up all of my Christmas lights and stuff like I normally do. It's been kind of unseasonably warm, and with the wind and stuff we had the other day, I'm kind of glad that I didn't put them out, because they may not be on my porch anymore. Staple gun? Oh yeah, I actually think he talked about stapling it onto his head about the time we lost it. It disappeared. So now we'd have to go hunt it down. And I've just kind of been like, whatever. I have a Grinch and a Max that we set out on the front porch for Christmas, and we make it look like he's pulling down my Christmas decorations. They hang my one strand of lights around my railings, and then wrap it around this OSB cutout of the Grinch, and make it look like he's pulling down my Christmas decorations, and it makes it look like we went really far out with our Christmas decorations when we really just put a cardboard cutout out and wrapped some lights around it. Hey Wolf, how's it going? No snow outside. Yeah, exactly. Yesterday it was like 75 degrees outside, and then we had those 100+ mile an hour winds yesterday, and it was like 70 some. At one point I walked out before the winds hit. I was walking around outside at work, and it felt like a spring storm. It felt like March, like a spring storm was rolling in. It was so weird. But we haven't had any snow or anything so far this year. It's been really unseasonably warm. They said if we don't get snow in this area by like the second week of January, it'll be like the latest date on record that we've seen winter weather. Which I'm okay with because I don't like the snow. But we could definitely use the moisture because we had some nasty wildfires going on yesterday. And the lack of moisture was definitely noted. Okay, I'm gonna hit the very tips of his horns with another layer of Agrexor shade here. Just trying to get that fade going. I think it's starting to come through. Dark. No snowballs. Don't like to be cold. I'm sitting in here with my little house coat on. It's not even all that cold in here, but even the slightest bit of the chill is not my favorite, so. Roar! Hey, sounds good, not a problem. I'll be here. We've got wash on our Viking now. Definitely gonna let this dry really good. Especially on this guy, since we just did the base part of the model here. Take a peek and see. We were there talking about Critical Role the other day, and I had to try catching up on some of that. I've never watched any Critical Role before, but I should definitely see what all the hubbub is about. I'm afraid I'd get addicted, and then I wouldn't be able to not watch it. So I think this is ready for some dry brushing. Feels good and dry enough that we can dry brush on this now. We don't want any wet little pools of wash settled in this at all, or it will definitely affect how the dry brushing goes about. We're gonna hit it with this Necron compound, because we're gonna hit everything, all the metals, the whole kits and caboodles. I've heard lots of good things about their campaign 3. Yeah, lots of hype around it. Must have some pretty good characters. I've seen a lot of people cosplaying their characters from campaign 3. Particularly the female characters. Oh, this poor Necron compound is a pretty rough shape too. I think once we work it into the brush here a little bit, we'll be alright. Recommend their one-shots. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check it out. Okay, we're gonna start, since this is the heaviest stuff, gonna just brush this along the blade and bring it up. So it looks like he's been chopping stuff with his blade and give that some sharpness to this blade edge again. Kinda. Okay, so for reference, you know, kind of getting this, bring some sharpness back to this blade edge. So that's with a dry brush. No dry brush. Got a little bit of a tip in that blade. I want to try to see if I can get those in. Same thing, just gonna try to scrape up from the sharp edge. It'll just kind of make it look like it's... This is an ox. Okay, now that I've knocked some of that off, I did that one first because I wanted to definitely knock some of that. I'm gonna come in here, we're gonna hit this. We may need to go down to a smaller brush so we don't get... I'm gonna do that before I wish I did. Let's go down to a smaller dry brush. I like this one. The rattier the dry brush, the better. Oh, yeah! Cool, thank you! Appreciate that. Pushing that in Discord is always great for me because if you, I lose it in the Twitch chat. So thank you very much. My memory is not what it used to be, and I always don't remember unless I go back and see it in Discord later, and I'm like, oh yeah, that thing. Oh, they got a Christmas special? Oh yeah. How long are they? Sorry, Sim, I know you said you were gonna go chit-chat with your wife, so do not make me keep you by asking you silly questions when you're trying to go do stuff. Curious how long a session is to listen to. The silver doesn't do like a whole lot. It definitely makes this copper a little brighter. But I like the effect it gives versus doing a... Gives some light to it. 3.5 hours long. Okay. 4.5 for the Christmas special, give or take. Oh, okay. So it's about the same length as like one of our D&D sessions with our group, so... Something I gotta listen to when I'm at work sometime. I'm not a person who likes to listen to music. I like, you know, talking noise background. I just find it a little more soothing. Music sometimes can kind of like ramp up my anxiety and make me a little anxious, so... Especially as my older age, I've noticed that be a thing. I'd rather have, like, just, you know, somebody kind of talking, a little more soothing for when you're working on a project, background noise. Just find it easier to listen to for long periods. Oh, we have to watch for their facial expressions. Okay, I can see that. I could see that. I will have some time. I bought myself some popcorn. I never buy popcorn at the store, but for some reason I was thinking popcorn sounded really amazing today, and I caved when I was grocery shopping. And so, like I said, when I'm on my winter break at home by myself, waiting for my husband to get off work, I'll have some time to sit down and maybe catch up on some of these things. That and The Witcher, I think, started its new season today. I'm gonna try to watch that this weekend, so I don't get behind on watching Witcher. I can't be patient enough to let the whole thing come out and then sit down and binge watch the whole season. I want to keep up on an episode at a time. I believe that started today. Ooh, jalapeno and orange cheddar. It is. He is. He's committed to doing The Witcher for a while. He said he's game. He wants to do it. So I think he's... I don't know how many seasons they were talking they may signed up for. But he said he's down for however long they want to do it. No, it's still the Cavell Witcher. The story is kind of like prequel to the game. I think they said it follows the book more than it does the game. I know there were some people who are big Witcher fans from the game, and then they watched the Netflix series and they're like, what is this? You're like, yeah, read the books. The books in the video game are not really simpatico. I started reading the books actually, and then I put it down to read The Lord of the Rings. I didn't realize they were doing a prequel series. Of The Witcher? Or I know they were talking about doing a prequel series of Game of Thrones. I didn't know if they were talking about a prequel series of The Witcher. I think the prequel series of Game of Thrones I thought got scrapped. Okay, this cheapo paintbrush I have, which is like a Walmart one, is like shedding the paint from the handle. About the first Witcher ever. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Interesting. I feel like our Frosty Boy's gonna need a name. Not sure what his name should be, but we'll come up with one. Okay, I got a little bit more I want to do with him, but the first thing I want to do right now, I want to paint this base so it can dry. This needs shaken. Balfi? Balfi? Am I pronouncing that right? Probably not. He's got a brother. Look at it. This is his brother. I got 2 frost giant models. One's got a, he's two-handing a big old battle axe. He's primed and at the ready for when his brother calls for his aid. We may have to paint that one next. I've also got a dragon I was thinking about painting. I think a dragon would be fun. I think a dragon we could do in one session. Kind of like that, purple worm that we did. Gonna go straight out of the pot with this. Gonna put down a base of brown. We're gonna do we're gonna try some snow basing. I've never done it before, but Malthus gave me some tips on how to do it, so we're gonna give it a try. Do some homemade snow basing. Matbir? Matbir? I like it. We now have hill giants. Ray, Malthus painted, yeah, Ralph painted fire giants, and then Malthus painted hill giants, and now I have frost giants, and we're gonna get the whole array of giants covered by the time we're done. I just need like some storm giants. Oh, I can remember snow in a can, like the stuff that you would spray on your windows. Okay, we're gonna let that dry and then we'll paint the edges. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I was ready to paint the edges right away, but we better wait till that dries. Then we'll paint the edges. Thinking there was something else I was— oh, yes! This. I think they do. It's probably not the exact same stuff, but I've seen some TikToks of people doing some really wild like window art displays in like shop windows and stuff, and they were using that. Okay, this stuff I love to use. This is just corkboard. You can buy it in like loose squares to make cork tack boards with, but it's just like eighth inch thick corkboard material. I've had this for a while, so it's like pretty brittle stuff, but using this and just kind of break it up into different shapes. We're gonna do like a little stone or like a rocky ledge behind him here. We're just gonna kind of break it up into shapes. We're gonna like just stack it up, and it makes really great like kind of like rocky terrain material. Was it cookie? Oh, I love frosted oatmeal cookies. I love frosted oatmeal cookies. Like just the El Cheapo ones that you could get in like the little plastic wrapper pack that are stacked in a line that they look like cardboard. Good old, get some good old chewy oatmeal cookies. I love oatmeal cookies. I have like some of those Otis Spunkmeyer cookies that you buy and you bake yourselves, or like the little pre-done up frozen cubies of cookie dough. They're cranberry oatmeal. Freaking delicious. Got dry. Oh, my glue's not all dried up. As a miniature painter, you go through so much super glue. It's not even funny. Okay, we're gonna like super glue this up. We're just gonna add a little rock stack behind him. Something that we can kind of pile some snow on. Maybe we'll even do a little small one up front too. Let that little layer up the snow and just kind of give it some more interest to his base. And get sushi, which was always a different roll, but then we always got same cookie for dessert, oatmeal, raisin, ooh, yeah. That sounds tasty. Growing up, my mom would never put nuts in like the cookies or stuff or anything because my dad didn't like nuts. Let's see if that glue actually hold in there. Got some junk in his trunk. His junk has got a trunk of junk. Yeah, she would. She would actually make him his own batch. He didn't like a frosting on his cupcakes either. So, she would, like, always make a batch of cupcakes and then she would not frost some of them. His dad doesn't like frosting. To this day, he still doesn't like frosting. No nuts in the brownies. Depends on the frosting. Yeah, it kind of does depend on the frosting, I think, too. Not all frosting is equal. I will agree. One thing about there not being any moisture in the air is that my paint is drying really fast, and my base is ready for another coat. While we're gluing on his arms. They give you these little shapes so you can tell which direction the arms go in. Easy. Make sure you get them in there the right way. Roar! Roar, I say. We got a little highlighting yet to do. We're gonna put a little highlight on this, and then we need to highlight his horns yet. But before we do that, let's put another coat of paint on our base, and then we can do some highlighting. And then I gotta go get a few other materials to start playing with putting the snow base on. The world is falling apart, but you know what? I can paint minis a lot faster! About ready to change off this Christmas station because it says that there's like 57 songs they're playing through. I think it's supposed to be more like 5 to 7 songs they're playing through because they all sound exactly. Starting to drive me nuts. "57 different versions of Jingle Bells." Yeah, just like every single musician has to do their own different version of White Christmas. I like it when people do their own unique Christmas songs. Look at that, by the time I make it around the space, it's already dried again. Oh, the baby, it's cold. Oh, I know, I love that. With Frank Sinatra? Oh, ho, ho. Okay, we'll give this a little bit of a quick top coat on top of this other layer we did. Just giving it like a dirty base. Some brown dirt, because we're not going to probably see much of this by the time I'm done, but it'll allow like some... instead of just a black base throat showing through, just kind of give it like an earthy... I think I'm also going to go through and we're going to just kind of stipple some other colors on top of this, give it some dimension. We're going to cover most of it up with some snow stuff, I think. But that at least, whatever does show through, we'll have a little dimension to it. Okay. We want to make sure that this super glue is dry before we start painting this cork, because I have made the mistake of that and ruined many a brush by painting over something I had super glued before I let the super glue dry, especially on cork. Seems like as dry as this cork is, it probably soaked up that super glue pretty good. Yeah. Is that dry? Ruined my good... It still feels a little sticky. Okay, we're gonna wait. Nervous, I don't want to ruin this brush. It's close, though. Close. Okay, let's grab this. Giving this a little bit of an edge highlight. The classical. Probably not the best brush for it, but I had it handy. does seem a little Scottish sounding, or I mean, I like it. Full of little rips or something. The edges of those so they actually kind of stand out a tiny bit. Alright, I'm about ready to change the music. I've heard this already. Like the same 2 damn songs on repeat. Jingle Bits, Jingle Bell Rock, White Christmas. It is. It's like, why? It says there's fit. I wonder if it's because I have this on YouTube safe mode, so it really like cuts down the number of tracks that I can listen to. Either way, we're moving to the lo-fi. I don't have the premium pretzel rock, so our selection is a bit to be desired. Just grabbing a little bit of this original color that we based this linen in. Gonna try to get this. There we go, just to make it look a little more like it's not all washed out. Okay, that's all we needed of that. Now let's take Screaming Skull. This one doesn't sound like it's all dried to smithereens. Okay. We're gonna add a few little streaks. Kind of wipe it away because I want it to be subtle. I'm gonna make it look like that bone's got some... The horn just got some the nuance to it. You can kind of see where those got some it's got some like sculpted into it, some little ridges, kind of like a natural horn would have. Using this brush because it's got a little bit of bristles are a little flayed. And so it's putting down a bristly look to it, which actually works really well. Just, light streaking to that horn. Okay, I'm thinking that model's pretty much done. I think that's how we're gonna leave him. He's a little washed out on camera compared to what he looks like in person. To the lighting, but looking pretty menacing. Alright, let's check this and see if it's ready for paint. I do have some old brushes we could even use instead of my one good brush here. Make not, I think we should be alright. I don't feel anything sticky in there. Okay, again, I'm just going to use this pretty much straight out of the paint pod. It should dry pretty quick, I think. And then, we'll glue this onto the base, and then we're gonna kind of like stipple some other browns and stuff. We're gonna just kind of try to make it look like earth. Give it an undercoat layer to the snow we're gonna put on afterwards. I've also got some like faux greenery and stuff here too. I've got like some fake grasses that we can put on there. Look like there's a little bit of dried brush coming up through it, but I use a lot of Rhinox hide for my my basing color. I could have just, I do have a bunch of like cheapo Walmart folk art colors I could use for doing this instead of using a more expensive Citadel paint here, but the stuff is starting to get dried up on me, and it probably should be getting used. And being that this is a natural material, I'm not too concerned about completely covering it, because it is kind of in the tones of the colors that I'm going to be using anyways. Alrighty, now let's do this a little bit. Helps if you keep it a little bit on the runny side. Helps that paint in this cork kind of settle where it needs to settle. It's so textured. But this stuff just makes really nice rocks. Layers up nice. Okay. I set my good model all done over here just so I don't splatter stuff on him. I don't. Just be on the safe side. Okay, so now I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take maybe like some Steel Legion drab. Maybe I'll take some dry brush of this Tyrant Skull. And all I'm gonna do, we're not being precise by any means. You can probably even take this dry brush here. Do need to clean out these brushes real quick. I got two different waters going on. I got a metallic water and a regular paint water, so I don't get little metal flecks in my regular paint. This one has quite a bit of metallic paint sitting in it still here. We have to work it out a little bit. Okay. I'm just gonna use this. We're just gonna, like I said, this is just gonna be the under part of the base. We're not gonna see much of this. Want to give it some texture. Even with this one, even though this paint's still wet, doesn't really matter. That Tyrant Skull is actually a a dry brush, so I don't think that's gonna work. Let's take, like, choppity bone. This is a new Ushabity bone. Oh, this is what new paint's supposed to look like. Not really dry brushing, but I am taking my dry brush. We're just gonna add a little bit more. Just a little something for that snow to shine through. Shine through underneath that snow we're gonna put on here. We're gonna put it on pretty heavy. Très poupon. Oh, that lid goes on nice too when those pots are new. Yep, we're just like I said, nothing fancy. We're gonna cover this mostly up with snow, but I just want, like, where the snow might peek through, just give it some texture underneath there. So something like that. Put our giant on there. And I need to go grab a couple of other things, and we're gonna work up. I've never done this before, but Malthus was telling me how to do it over text message earlier. So we're gonna give it a whirl, see how it turns out. Put these brushes away because I don't know that we're really gonna need them. We could possibly do a little bit of a wash. That's like some cork in my bristles here. Also go wash my hands. Whoop, sorry, bumping in my mic. We're gonna do a snow base, some snow base. You can actually buy this from Games Workshop. You can buy these little pods of like some faux snow to do your basing on for your models, but you can also just make it yourself, and that's what we're gonna go do. So I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab the couple of materials that we need, and we'll finish up this base here, I think. So BRB. Okay. Camera back a tiny bit here. There we go. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I've got like some baking soda. I hope I have enough. I just grabbed some. And we're gonna add some Elmer's glue to this. Hopefully this, oh yeah, this glue's still gluey. You know, it might just be easier to take the cap off. Hey, Aspire, how's it going? Actually, I wonder before we do this if I should glue these things down to my base. Because I do want him to like be standing in the snow, so I think we want it to go over his thumb. I figure out where I want my stones to be. And kind of like that. Super glue. Preparing for some sleep? My husband's doing the same thing. He's already in bed. It's not even, I don't know what time it is where you're at. Like about, not quite 10 o'clock here. Just shy of 10 o'clock. I went to go grab some supplies and yeah, my husband's already snuggled up in bed. He's not been feeling well though, so probably should be going to bed. Super glue that down. We're gonna attempt to do some snow basing. I've never done snow before. But I got some baking soda here. A friend of mine's done this, and some baking soda, some Elmer's glue. I may go get my baking soda. I don't think this is gonna be enough. Let me go get the thing of it. I just tried snow for the first time 2 nights ago. Okay, well we're gonna do a concoction of Elmer's glue, baking soda, and then some white acrylic paint. Malthus recommended a little bit of white acrylic paint because he said it tends to go a little yellow if you don't do that. So let me go grab some more baking soda because I don't think I have near enough. I will be right back. the goods. We'll start with this for now, and then if we need to add, I was thinking about maybe even putting like a little bit on his shoulders and stuff to make it look like, you know, he's been trudging through the snow. I wanted him on his base when we go to put the snow on. Ooh, I just had an idea. Maybe I don't. I have an idea. Light bulb. Let's start with this, see what we get before I mix up too much. But I got more baking soda if we need it. Did I grab my stir sticks? I did grab my stir. Light bulb. Okay. I recommend about 50-50. On the Elmer's glue and we're gonna just put a little bit of this paint in there. I don't think it needs much, maybe. Schmidgen. Let's give it a stir. Trying to get a feel if we need more glue or not. A stir stick's not that beefy. Might need a little more glue. Feeling a little thick. I'm gonna snap my snick in half so I can double it up. There we go. Needs a little more beef. You know, I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know if it would work to just sprinkle. Like dust it with the baking soda when you're done. Kind of give it a freshly fallen. You know what I should have done? Got some mica powder and put a tiny bit of mica powder glitter in here to make it sparkly. Like snow is. Snow's got a little sparkle to it. Yeah, it just kind of got a texture to it. It needs more. Now that I got a little more beef to my stir stick here. Look like snow. I think it needs more powder. There, I think I'm getting happy with that. Yeah, it's kind of like, all right, let's give it a whirl here. Might be able to just use our fingers too. That reminds me of Spackle. Definitely like roll up little snowballs. Maybe if he was a hill giant, lugging rocks or something at you. Do snowballs. Feels funny. We're gonna have to work pretty quick with it. It may dry. Start drying out, so. More snow! You'll never hear me say that in real life. Get the fucking snow out of here. I think the finger best applicator. Okay. Oh, that's right. This is Sims time of the year. Forget you dig the snow. No, thank you. I'll send you my snow. Although we haven't had any, so nothing to send you. My finger. Or and this down along the Definitely reminds me of like drywall spackle. Artificial snow and patch your walls. Fuzzy in there. That kind of looks like snow, eh? Okay, so my thought was, let's try to clean the fingers off here best we can. Okay, so my frost giant here. Kind of move him to the edge. Put a couple footprints in here. I want it to look like he has stomped in the snow. So I got like a little, like a footprint behind him here. It looked like he took a step forward. Best fake snow you've seen in a long time. Thanks! Made it myself. Now let's hope this holds up. That I got the proportions right and I don't have like too much. Do I mess him up? Do I like put some on his like... I'm nervous about putting some like on his shoulders. To make it look like he's got some snow in his... some snow in his shoulders. I don't want to do it. I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up and then I won't be able to fix it. Oh, I kind of like that, actually. Putting a little snow. This ain't your average faux snow. I think it's looking pretty good. I put a little bit, like, on his back. Like, on his little trunk back here. I think that looks pretty cool. Okay, we're gonna go with it. We're gonna put a little snow on him in places here. It looks really good, actually. It does remind me a lot of Spackly. I think I could have taken it up a notch. And I could have went downstairs and got a little bit of my mica powder. I have some, like, some very light pearlescent mica powder. And we could put some on put some in here and just made it a little sparkly. Put a little bit, like, on the top of that boot there. Thought to keep for the other frost giant? Yeah, yeah. Well, what I could do is I could always come back and, like, dust some over the top with, like, a dry brush. Do, like, a dry brush technique with some mica powder and just give it a little light dusting in places where it would be glittery. I can do that. Be hard. We're gonna go for it. Starting to dry a little bit. Crumbly. I honestly don't even know how well this is gonna stick. But it's definitely getting to feel like, it's starting to feel a lot like snow now. Getting that texture now that Elmer's glue is starting to dry. That's true. Oops. Okay, that's fine. I got what I wanted from his... He wasn't glued to the base. I was using his feet for footprints. But I can take some of the stuff that's still a little damp here. Oh, yeah, with the sparkle. Yeah, that's the best time to see snow, when it's freshly fallen and you're inside your house and you don't have to get out in it. It's once you get out into it and then it becomes a muddy, mucky mess. That I'm like, nope, I'm done. Okay, one thing I'm gonna do is kind of take this and don't want to mat it too much down into his beard where it doesn't look natural. Just, he's been walking through a snowstorm and it's kind of crusted up in his beard a little bit. Let it. I'm flaking snowflakes everywhere. Oh, that I can agree with. Yeah, fresh fallen snow does smell pretty awesome. Kind of where it would settle around his shoulders. Maybe he's been walking into it here. Oh, he's looking frosty. Scoop it around off. Gonna be glued to the base. Kind of into his shoes. Okay. Take the super glue, I'm gonna stick him down now. While that's still a little wet. Gonna wanna finger. Push that around. stone. Around where his toe is kind of. I want to leave these little semicircles of my stick here. I'm working it. Work it. Work it. Drag it along here a little bit, get that texture pull up a little bit. I'm gonna kind of smush it like he's some depth to the snow. Need to be like in the snow. Whew! Kind of a mess. Hey, that's looking pretty good. Kindergarten, you're assuming that I ever stopped finger painting. Just doing a little around like the top part of this axe here. Good and dry. He's looking spicy. Oh, I forgot about this stuff. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have like baking soda all over the place here. Just pan this up. Like there's a little bit of Maybe brush growing out. By this rock. Manipulate some snow into that. There's a little bit back here. Growing up in these rocks. Maybe. I think it just kind of looks cool though. I don't have it really, it's just kind of like caught up around the rim. So if it's like a hard, snowy, frosty freeze, you know, you might still have a little bit clinging in around the rim. Kind of mush some of this. Node into there. Cool. I think we're gonna call it good there. I gotta get cleaned up. But here we go. Got ourselves a frosty snow base. I'm curious to see as this sets up if that's gonna wanna like start to disintegrate. I don't think so. See how it holds up. I'll take some better pictures because like we've got a little bit of like snow on his little backside here, on his packages and his trunk, on his shoulders. Just the tiniest bit on the top of the hill of his axe blade, a little bit, just a little bit. A little bit in his beard. I'll take some better pictures of it and post in the Discord so you can see the light kind of washes it out a little bit. Put my lid back on my Elmer's glue out. Clean up my snow mess. Got a little trash can around. Whoop. Here, brush. Alright, this set of paper towels is trash now.
Alright, let's bring that beat back.
That's why I put the silicone mat down over my mouse pad. Got a nice baking soda finish on that silicone now. We'll have to, about time for it to get a wash anyway. Alrighty, Roo! Well, I think that's gonna do it for me tonight. Got him tidied up. Well, in a little early, but it's been a long week and I wouldn't mind kind of getting cozy here. Got a a work day tomorrow. We got D&D tomorrow. We're having a potluck with friends tomorrow, so I gotta come home and get some goodies whipped up to take to our D&D group. We're doing a little Christmas get together before our session with some good food and friends. I missed the last session, so I'm not real sure where we're at. I had a Christmas party. I do like eggnog. I don't know that they've got eggnog. To ask somebody if they'll bring the eggnog. I would drink eggnog. Sign me up. I'll have some. I can kind of pile this all up on my pallet. It's like trying to take all your groceries down into the house after you've done shopping. I like to make as few trips as possible, so I pile everything up as neat as I can. All good. Whether I do it either way, with or without booze. It doesn't have to have booze in it. I just like the eggnog. Not too much booze. It gets hard to do math in D&D if you're too boozy. So we usually don't do. We'll take like a little glass of wine or something, but nobody really partakes in the beverages too heavily when we're playing D&D, because then you really tend to get off topic, and then the math starts to get a little shady. So best to leave that for other socializing when you don't have to do all the extra math. Alrighty. Lactose intolerant similar to eggs. Still waiting whether or not the 6 hours running to and fro the bathroom would be worth an entire a liter of eggnog. It's once a year, right? But I doubt they make a lactose-free version of eggnog, and if they do, it's probably not the same. It's not as good. So, yeah. It's a once in the year indulgence, so might be able to justify it that way, but still. Lactose-free milk and the recipe's so easy? Ah! Well, if you can find a way to make it work and it tastes good, heck yeah. Save your... Have the yummy noms and without all the hurt with it. Alrighty, well, I am gonna take off. Thanks for hanging out. We got our frost giant done. Pretty excited about that. I have a bunch of dice I need to catch up on. I've got some sets that need to be polished, and I've got a few sets that need to be numbers inked. So I was gonna try to do some dice tonight, but I knew we wouldn't be able to do dice and in a mini all in one session. So maybe on Sunday, if there's nothing better to do, and depending how we're feeling, we could definitely get some dice making done. So that might be on the agenda for a Sunday afternoon stream. Get some dice tidied up, and that could definitely kill several hours. I got lots of sets that need to be finished up, so maybe we'll plan on that for Sunday. I don't work on Monday, so I don't know what the plan is for Monday. Tuesday, Thursday next week should be pretty typical. I don't know what's going on for Christmas. Christmas Day will definitely be with my family, which is a Friday. Sunday the 26th, we are doing Christmas with my husband's family, so I don't think we'll be streaming that Sunday. But Christmas Eve, I don't think there's anything going on. So if I don't do a stream, maybe we could even just like watch some movies or something in Discord if nobody's got any big plans for Christmas Eve. So but yeah, we'll play it out through the holidays. I kind of want to do a New Year's Eve stream. We don't have any plans for New Year's Eve, so I think it'd be fun to do a New Year's Eve stream of some sort. And I don't know what, but I'll think of something that we can do and hang out together with. Be kind of fun. But I'm gonna take off so I can get this all tidied up and cleaned up. And we'll catch everybody here hopefully on Sunday, and we'll do some fun activities. activities. All right, I'm taking off. You guys have a good night. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.